If you knew me before, you wouldn't even look my way. If I had the nerve to speak, you wouldn't hear what I say. Time has come and gone so fast, we're not who we used to be.
Are you talking about the business concept or just the design?
The business concept.
Okay, the business concept. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
because that's a journey to get I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, it's not like you just get into the business of owning a venue. There's
Right.
so
No.
much thought planning and all kinds of stuff going into it. So, like, when
100%.
did you have the idea of opening up a venue in the first place?
Okay, I got into the entertainment industry about in 2012. So I've been doing it since then. And I started with started a company. My first company was Q&A Entertainment. I had went in there with a partner. The Q was for Quincy and the A was for Avery. At the time, I didn't know nothing about the business. At that time in my life, I was coming up with something that I can do, that I can enjoy doing, and make a living off of it. And I felt entertainment was it. And so I reached out to a friend of mine that was into the industry that he had been doing for years and had contacts with. So I told him I would like to get into it. And at the time, I was working a job, and I was about like a year in. The contract was going to end. I had saved up some money, and I said, "Man, I'd like to invest into that." And so we did. So him and I started a company called Q&A Entertainment, and that was basically just a concert promotion business, bringing out professional artists. So that's how that went down, and I got into it at the time. I didn't know nothing about it at all. I just knew, I just thought, like, if I can, I like that life. It feeds everything inside of me, and it's an entity that I think I can love to be a part of and make a living off of it, and at the time, get off the streets. So that's how I got into it. And at that time, I didn't know nothing about it, so I had to learn. He knew everything about it. So I learned a lot through him. And we did our first show. We just did like an opening party, and he had all kind of artists come out, and we did that. And then introduced the company, and then our first professional act. My first professional act would be with Keek the Sneak. Keek the Sneak is a professional artist. You guys might know him. He did a collaboration with A40. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. You know, and so yeah, that right there was my first professional artist that we brought out. And since then, right there, then that was the beginning of the journey. And like you said, it's a process from that point to here. So just learn the business and going through the ups and downs and learning how the industry works. And all the things I've went through throughout the years dealing with it on the promotion side. I don't have the gifts and talents of the artist, so therefore I'm in the background, the back scene. So I look at everything from a business standpoint, from a different angle. And so on a business standpoint, or just business, having a venue is important in that industry if you're in it. And that's one of the things that led me to the venue right here.
And I appreciate that too, because like one of the things that I've learned just in my short journey from the behind the scenes part of music
Right.
is a lot of bands and a lot of musical talent struggle with the promotion side of things.
Yes.
Because that is, without a doubt, one of the hardest aspects of being in music.
Most definitely.
Is finding places to play.
Yes.
And so when you started on your journey of like music promotion,
Right.
what were there a lot of places in the Salem area to actually have concerts and shows at?
Okay. Let me give you a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
Okay. I only been in Salem for about 7 years.
Okay.
So when I started Q&A Entertainment, that was in Arizona. So that's where that journey was. That's where it started in Arizona. I moved to Oregon about 2018. So that's when what I did. I started a new company. Now I'm out of. We let that company go. So then I end up. Some years went by, and I came out here to Oregon. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna start a company out here. And I'm gonna start it from scratch. The first one I did right there was LLC. This one right here I did as a corporation. And so I just started my company, Q Management Group, Inc., which is the parent company to the companies that I have now, which is, so QMG Promotions is my promotion company. So that's a DBA to Q Management Group, Inc. And then the new DBA, which is the Last Light Lounge, which this is right here. So this is called the Last Light Build and Vibe Lounge. So that's up under Q Management Group Inc. So I did that. So that's the business structure. Now, the Last Light Build and Vibe Lounge, it has a lot to go with that. And then so that kind of, I will tell you about that story if you want to know that.
Yeah,
or you want
please.
to know more about the. So now you kind of know about the backstory
Yeah.
where I came from. So go back and give me that question again.
So like when you started like researching
Okay.
like venues and stuff like
Okay.
that, did you find that there were a lot of competition in terms of venues around the Salem area?
Okay, yeah, there you go. So now, so yes, I started in Arizona, got here in Salem. Then once I got here, as far as the venues, I looked around, I seen, so I'm gonna ride, I'm scoping the scene. So I have the business knowledge that I have been doing this already for some years. So I kind of knew what to look for, So looking for the venues, it wasn't really the problem at the time, like that for me. I just aligned with a company, with a business that was just opening up in that lane, which was the Tiki Lounge.
Okay.
They had, when I got here, they had just opened up,
Yeah.
or they was still in like basically construction, and about to open up. And my mom told me and said the individual right there, they're opening up, and that's a good place right there, right on that Lancaster area. At the time, I didn't know what that was, so I said okay, I'm gonna go talk to him. So I go in there and go talk to them, and I approached them with an idea, and the idea was to bring an artist, a professional artist. At the time, I told them it was just, in business. In business is about interest. Not my interest, it's their interest. So I know my interest has nothing to do with his interest. So I just tapped into his interest, into their business, what they would like for them. And that is to have people coming through the door. Because as a venue owner, one of the hardest things to do is to get people through the door.
Yeah.
Right? So, in this lane, you can walk through maybe on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And when you walk through a venue, you just count the people and see on what day you're there. So you might go in on a Thursday and you might see about 5, 10 people. So you walk into a venue, I went there and told them, I said, look, man, this is the day I see this, how many people here. I think I can bring in about 100 people. I mean, work the deal out with them. And that's how it started. At the time, though, when I did that, he didn't know me from Adam, you know what I mean? So I'm here new in Salem. Only had been here for like no more than like probably 3 to 6 months at the time. So I don't have no brand here yet. I don't have nothing here. So Go ahead.
Can I pause real quick? So basically you're saying like for some reason you had that level of connection with the owner of that lounge that said, I'm gonna give this person a chance.
Most definitely. Most
That's
definitely.
awesome.
So yeah, he gave me a chance, but it didn't believe me all the way until the artist walked in.
Right? Ain't that yeah. Uh-huh.
Right? So hey, he gave it a chance. Hey, but he sweated me all the way until he walked through the door. Is he really gonna come? Is he really gonna come? And so yeah, that's how that went. And it happened, and then we formed a rapport with that, man, a good business rapport throughout years. With that venue right there, I ended up bringing about, I think, three or four professional artists through that lounge. I pretty much, yeah, I brought a few artists. Like I brought Sugar Free there. I did Devin the Dude there. So yeah, yes, and that's where it started at here.
And do you remember like that first show?
Yeah, I remember the first show. It was the first show was with Devin the Dude.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
Devin the
it.
Dude, man. It was a nice show. Man, everybody, man, enjoyed it. It was it was an intimate experience. So the difference, see, because later on he was going to perform in Portland that night. So throughout my years of being in the industry, I have connections through promotional scenes and artists. So I know when they're traveling, I know what's going on. I know this and that. I know managers. I know artists. So I just tapped into my resource, and I was like, okay, and I reached out to him and then got him there. And so yeah, and when that happened, what people don't understand the difference between having a person, an artist performing a venue that's holding 1,000 to 1,500 people. There's no intimacy there. You can be 100, 200 feet back from the artist, 300 feet. I mean, you might be way up there. I mean, all you doing is seeing the artist from afar. And the difference with that is in an intimate spot, man, now you get a chance to see them, hear them close and talk to them, get a chance to have an intimate, man, conversation. I mean, it was an intimate experience. They stayed there, man, for almost about 2 or 3 hours after that and walked around, took pictures with everybody talked with them. And that right there was an experience that they got that they didn't understand. That I think that the consumer base here of that market that kind of needs to understand, like, man, that's way better than him going to go perform at the like the Roseland or something out there, because the intimate experience and that right there, well, was nice. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to give that experience, man, to the consumers here of that market.
And like the other piece to that intimate experience too that I love is that there's no overpowering of the music.
Yeah.
Once you get to a venue that's 300, 400 people or more, you have to overpower the music to reach the back of the hall.
Right.
And so when you're in an environment like this here, like, no, you get to hear every sound. You get to hear every note. There's more of a connection to all of the pieces of music.
And it's amazing.
And you're not just getting the top end or the low end.
You're not. You're getting the high end.
Yeah.
But people think big. People think, oh, big better. Just imagine, it's almost intimate. So this space, that's my experience. A lot of my experience gets me here, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about this, and that's one element of it was the intimacy, right? So if people think bigger, better, right? Bigger, better. No, just imagine if you in a little room. You just imagine you inside your living room, and Beyonce come and give you a man just sing for you in a show, or Jay-Z or your favorite artist or rock band. He's come right there and just rock out for you at your birthday party in the backyard. Man, that's a different experience. Way better than if you at the Motor Center and you 500 feet up. Man, that's the difference, and that's what I know. Bigger is not better in that scene.
I couldn't agree more. And I actually had an experience very recently that sort of brought that home.
Right.
I saw Hosier at the Moda Center.
Okay.
A phenomenal concert.
Right.
Right? He was really, really good.
Right, you get all the graphics, all the stuff,
Yeah.
all the electric stuff.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Good.
But you couldn't hear or understand half the words he was singing.
Right.
Like, you can't really, can't get the nuances. Like, all you can hear is a little snare and a little drum, a little bass. That's about it.
Right.
And you have, like, these shows that I go to all the time, like with the Nicky Jones Band, for example, and
Right.
there's, like, 25 people in the crowd. The sound is just way better.
100%. And that's,
Yeah.
and if people don't know, why, ask themselves, why are you spending all the money to get up front?
Yeah.
You're spending all of that money up front to get closer to the artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the people that's able to get close to, has to spend an arm and a leg to get that experience. And that's why they charge you that much for that. So that's the difference between if you can have it to like this right here, and they're giving it. So for me, that's why it's like kind of something always been my niche in a way, is to be able to give that intimate experience for a price that you would pay for a regular getting a bar type price.
And that's the thing, the beauty of, like, local venues.
Right.
Right? Because you have this opportunity. And one of the things I love about Salem and Portland is the level of musical talent here.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
And it's not just the name brand people that come through that sell out arenas.
No.
It's the people that you can go and see for $20 a show. And it's just, I argue, just as good as some of those artists that come through and you're paying $150, $300 a night.
100%. I mean, I know it. And I watched, I studied the market. I learned all that through years. All that. And I'll tell you when we finally explain what this place is, on how I was able to get to this place and how I developed it and how it all came about. It's through the things that we're talking about, experiencing and going through all of that for the years that I've talked about since then. Remember, when I first entered the scene, I didn't know nothing.
Yeah. And so how did you find this place?
I found a place through, it was just on a newspaper site, said it was open, had a lease open. It was a 500 square feet building. It's 500 square feet. Nobody wants a 500 square foot building. For me, I'm looking at me, I got to start somewhere. It's about a start. It's about, to me, it's not about by me having the experience and learning and knowing what intimacy is in my lane. I thought it was perfect for me. And from here is no telling where it can go in the sense of this, but you got to start somewhere. And this right here is to me is the magic is what people see. That's not only 500 square feet. I see the opposite. I see the magic in that. Like I was explaining, the 2,000 venue. That's a different experience to a venue right there and the artist right there in your face in your backyard or right there in your living room. So me understanding that, I see the space different.
And I love how you have like the color scheme of the lights change colors, like
Right.
all of this intentionality here.
Yes.
Like I could see this is really a labor of love.
Right. Oh yes, it's me. And when I explain it to you, I kind of help explain my journey. It's me. It's who I am as a person. That's what this is. That's what it is. This place is more than what you see right here as of right now. When I explain it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a lot to it. Everything that's in here is by design and here for a reason. You know,
And how did you come up to choose like the music piece of it?
the
Like,
music piece of
So, like putting the stage together, I see that you have a certain kind of microphone, certain
Right.
kind of like. How did you go about researching like the best kind of equipment to have on stage? Because I love it. I want to pause for a second and say, like, I love the fact that you took it from a musician's perspective,
Right.
Like, I can tell based on the stage, based on the equipment that you have back,
Right.
that you have intentionality of making your artists look good that
Most
come
definitely.
through here.
right.
How did you get that knowledge?
Just through experience, understanding what sound is about. Like everything, the sound that I have is a reason why I picked that. So when people come in here, they look and they see right now. I mean, me personally, I feel I got the best sound system. Not sound system, but the sound quality. The when you're here, and with that sound, when you hear it, the feel, the bass, the beat, the clarity, it resonates inside your soul. It you can feel it. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to or chill or relax. And that's by me understanding how important sound is and what type of sound you need to get that feeling.
And one of the things that I talk to a lot of people about is I really do believe that venues have a memory.
Right.
And every time you bring through a musical act, the next musical act feeds off the energy of the previous musical act. And so I always love new places because I love to see, how do I put this? I love to see the difference between a venue like now and a venue a year from now, only because of the memory of the music, because I think it changes the venue a little bit. Does that make sense?
100%. I speak about
Yeah.
that all the time. That's what I see. I see the magic. I see, I see this place right here. Once upon a time, like I said, when people seen this space, when I was talking about some of the things I was talking about doing with it, man, they couldn't even imagine. They couldn't see it, right? Because obviously it's my vision, and the place is real small, 500 square feet. It's like, how can you do all this, right? And I'm thinking about, my mind is 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and I'm looking at, man, I have plans for the individuals that's telling me that. They don't know that at the time. I'm about to give you one of your first opportunities here. This is where your dream is going to start. This is where other dreams are going to be. This is going to be looked at years from now at a space way different than you first entered right now. And that's what I see and what I know. Because I've done it years and years throughout my life for other venues that created for a venue that never had no type of name or marketing, that type of marketing by bringing professional artists and bringing that type of stuff there that changed that venue forever.
Because one of the things I've noticed with venues
Right.
in particular is you can tell the venues that are operated by people that don't have experience in the music industry and
Right.
those who do.
Yes.
Because there are venues out there, and that those that aren't run by people that have any musical experience.
Right.
The space isn't designed for musicians in mind.
There's no passion.
There's no acoustics.
Right.
There's no like sound dampening. There's
Right.
no like, and so when you throw out like this is only 500 square feet, like the pushback I have is like, yeah, but this is far and above better than a handful of places that I know right now,
Right.
where you can go to see live music.
Right.
Like you can tell just in the music that was playing when I was setting up.
Right.
You could just tell.
Right.
Like there's something here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a 500 square foot building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
And one of the things that you and I were talking about before we came on, and something I like to stress, is
Right.
the importance of like community and supporting your local organizations and your local groups.
Right.
Like, why is it important for you as a venue to have that community involvement?
Because so many doors that was set in my face. And I understand that. It's a lot of people out there that have so much talent, that have so much, but don't have the opportunities. And like you said, it's venues here in spaces that I've learned, like especially the scene that I initially started in was the hip hop scene. And, you got different demographics in different cities, different places, right? Because that's business. Everything changes. So in Salem, Oregon, and Oregon, period, the hip hop scene is a little bit different than, say, out south in Georgia, Atlanta, that type of stuff, L.A., New York, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. So most businesses are not designed really to support hip hop. That's not the strong point. That's not the model that they look at that's going to support their bottom line the way they feel. And I understand completely. So I understand that from a business standpoint.
Yeah, but
Right.
I call BS.
Right.
But I get what you're saying.
So that BS part right there is what leads me to this right here, to create that for that side that you're saying right now, that underneath tone, to be like, this, I know what's important. I know what matters. I know what needs to be created to be able to touch that the people that like what they need. They need the space. It's there, and I want people to be able to have access to it. So that's why I create the spot for that. So people that don't have access to these microphones and this system, and nobody's looking at them and judging them when they're coming through. And that's important to me. When you come in here, you feel comfortable, you feel welcomed.
Yeah, and I always, the part that frustrates me the most about that whole thing that we were just talking about is just how short-sighted it is on the part of the venue,
Right?
And just how much judgment gets in the way of business decisions.
Yes,
because that's a BS judgment.
Right.
At the same time, you see this shit all the time.
Right.
And it's unfortunate and it's not fair. So thank goodness that you have a venue where people can go, because the reality is that still exists in our society today.
Oh,
that huge negative judgment surrounding hip hop.
Right. Yeah.
And
100%.
it's not. It comes from people who don't understand the whole picture.
Right. Exactly. And that's what, and I understand everybody's just not to be, everything's not to be understood, and that's okay. So I just take it. I'm glad that I'm able to understand that, and since I understand it, I'm able to bring something to people that you're looking at, what you're looking at here. And I initially got into it through the hip hop scene, but hip hop comes from a different. It's more behind it. The music of hip hop is a lot of samples. Is from bands. It's from music created through that. So that's why I know it's so much more to hip hop, where hip hop come from and what's inside of me as an individual. So that's why I bring the live music, the bands, the blues, country, because these are things that travels that created hip hop. You see what I'm saying? It's the beginning that led to hip hop. So it's so much more, and that's why I do hip hop. But that's why got the blues, soul. I did, Voices of Soul that I just did, and with just, just beautiful singing, and just, people sitting down, relaxing, and listening to live music of soulful music. So because soul, that's where it comes from, and that's why I create the space, even just to let people know in the world it's more to hip hop, and that's where I want to bring and let people know where it comes from and the soul and what's inside of me. That's why I say this right here is me.
And I love that because it's all about inclusivity and welcome. And so many times people need to find a space where they can feel welcome at the door.
Right.
And it's it's one of those interesting things where if you create a space, people will come.
Right.
And if everybody knows they're welcome here, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, 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 it is. And people tell me, and and that's why. And once I hear that, I know that I'm doing the right thing, and I'm reaching it. So when I hear people talk, and they come in, they say, "I just feel comfortable. I just feel like I like when you let me go get on the mic and give me a chance to, that nobody's never gave me. I give people a chance to get on the mic that you can't walk into a lot of these other places just get in and go get on the mic. They're not gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
They're just not. Uh, and, and I do.
And how limiting it is when they don't give them that.
Man, it's a lot, man. It's major. I mean, you're stopping a lot. I mean, but like you said, they don't understand that because they didn't start the business for that, and it's okay. I mean, I get it. Everybody don't understand everything like that, and they started for a different reason. That's not their lane, so they don't let that come in, and they don't let that happen. And that's how all those experiences and watching all throughout my years and seeing it, and that's all a part of what led me to bring this to life.
And it's one of the things that's refreshing is so like from somebody who's neurodivergent who has autism.
Right.
Lighting is the bane of my existence.
Right.
Because if you come into a place that's overpowered with lighting,
Right.
it just ruins the whole ambience.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have control of the lighting to the
Right.
extent that you do here, and you can tailor the lighting based on the band and
Right.
based on the mood and that's just freaking awesome, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. It means a lot. I mean, I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because it's like, the Walmart and Target are the bane of my existence.
Right.
Because the lighting is terrible.
Right, right.
And then there's some venues that they don't have any lighting at all. It's dark, you can't see, and
Right.
it's just like, I think you have the perfect balance here. I think it's awesome.
Appreciate it, man. So yeah, I don't know. So so now I guess it leads to the space. If you want me to explain, since I gave you a little bit of backstory,
Yeah.
I guess I want to explain what the space is now.
Please,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Now I'm explaining to you what the space is. Give you a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna give it to you in days, right? How Monday through Sunday work, and I'll explain how that go. So that's how we start. So Monday, right? So Mondays, So Monday would be comedy night. That's that. So that's open mic night. Come in here and get comedy. Tuesdays is where I got a space for, which is from 7 to 8:30 to 9 p.m., which is called Meetings of the Minds. So Meetings of the Minds is to invite people like you, other entrepreneurs, visionaries, to come and sit and have a conversation. We talk about community, we talk about development. And also, if people want to come in, have business ideas for the space, you want to rent the space, you got a business idea for the space for yourself that you want to be able to do and create. Those are the times. So I create. That's what Meetings of the Minds is. So that's what I do with that on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, I got a book club. So the book club that I have is based on self-development, building wealth, and business, starting business, talk, stuff like that. So right now we're reading a book by Dan Martell called Buy Your Time Back. So what I do with that, is bi-weekly. So every 2 Wednesdays we'll meet right here at 7 to 8:30 and we'll speak about the book, what we experienced, what we went through, what you got out of it, and then do the next 2 chapters, read again. So I do that. That's on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we do, it's called karaoke and groove night. So what we do is you got karaoke game and groove night, right? So you come here, we play games, whatever games we want to play, put together. It could be spades, dominoes, you might be Pictionary, you might be whatever, right? Whatever you want to be creative and do. And, do karaoke. And then throughout the night, if people want to chill and maintain and want to dance and enjoy the rest of the night, then we do that. So that's on Thursdays. So now on Friday and Saturdays, that's hip-hop R&B night. And sometimes between them night, I might do an 18 plus, might do that once a month for them. So I do that to give them a chance to have an opportunity to do something. So that's what I do like that. And on Sundays is open mic night for artists, meaning musicians, anyone, R&B, hip hop, anyone, country, any genre of music. So that's what that is. So that's what that is right there. And that's the space. So in the space that I have right here, that's what this is. No, so is there anything you want to ask questions from that? what I just went over right now before I go on?
Yeah, because like one of the things I don't think people understand too, from the music, even like the comedy piece, uh, there are so few places where people can go for open mic nights,
Right.
and hone their craft.
Right.
And the only way that musicians can get better is by practicing on stage.
Most definitely.
It's different.
No, yeah, no. So, oh yeah. So I left out too. So in the class, so in the daytime on Mondays and Wednesdays too,
Yeah.
also teach business class. So business class and then credit building and stuff like that. So Mondays is the 15 to 20, which is for the group for the like the teens to 20 to learn about finance, secure credit cards and stuff like that. So I teach them that. And then
That's beautiful.
then on Wednesday, man, I teach the grown-ups from 21 up the same thing, secure credit card, how to get your credit up, what it means, the importance of it, how you lose it by not using it. And then on if you want to start a business, how to leverage business credit as well, and how to start a business off of that. And those are things that I teach as well in the daytime. So that's the
Those
daytime.
are huge, because that's not something that's openly talked about in our education system.
Yeah. No.
We don't have a financial literacy course
No.
in high school, which there should be.
Right.
Like, who else are we learning our financial information from, right?
Right.
I learned mine from my father. So,
Right.
in other words, I didn't learn it.
That's how
Not
we
until I was an adult and I had to learn a lot of things the hard way.
Right.
That I would have saved myself so much money and aggravation if I would have had to have that conversation beforehand about, like, how to buy a car, even.
100%, man. I mean, and it's so yeah, man, and that's what that is. That's why I say the space is 100% me, because that's why I create this space, because of that, man. That's what I say. When I say the space is 100% me, you see with the walls, it says the highest human act is to inspire. The other side right there says we hustle for our last name, not our first, meaning we hustle for generational wealth, for ownership, because
Yeah.
these things are not taught. Like you said, we learn from our parents where we get it from. If they don't know, they can only give us what they know. And so I know the importance of the things that I'm talking about, and this is through life experience, and I do this, and I'm you're witnessing. I'm right here. You're in it. So I'm not just talking. We're right here having this conversation inside of what's created through that knowledge, through business credit, to leveraging, to know what credit is, to know by re-educating myself to be able to get here to where I'm at.
And it's small business that's the backbone of our country.
Yes.
And so many opportunities that people have,
Right.
if they take that leap and get into business ownership.
Ownership, for
It
sure.
opens up so much more freedom and opportunity,
So much.
because like we're at the point where like you have to choose sometimes between working for a large corporation who's not going to care really about you. You're
Right.
kind of just a cog in the wheel, just a number,
Right.
versus getting out there on your own, having a passion project, doing what's necessary. Now, keep in mind, it's a lot of work, people. Like, running a business is not an easy
Oh, no.
task.
No, it's not.
So,
No, it's
like,
not.
if you're looking for like a quick buck
No.
without a lot
Right.
of work,
That ain't happening. And it's not a get rich quick scheme. That's what it's definitely not.
you gotta play the long game.
Right. That's why you don't do it unless you got a passion for it.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna get you through all the hard times and the no's and everybody that think you can't do this and that and the days you want to give up, you know. So
People
yeah.
big dogging you. You know,
Right,
they get
yeah.
that
So
a lot.
you want to make sure it would be wise, I'm telling you, at the start, to have a passion for it.
Yeah.
To help you get through a lot of that. But yes, it's
Yeah.
definitely hard work.
Yeah. I
Right.
don't do this for money.
Right.
This is my passion
right. That's why I say
project.
this. Why I was telling.
Yeah.
It's passion driven, right? That's why I say this is me, because that's why I call it the last light build and vibe lounge. 'Cause in the daytime we build, and at night we vibe, right? So in the daytime we build. I got that's why I say, and that's how when I bring people into the especially the youth. To get them through here, man. Like I say, I let the place talk to them. When they read those words, they see that they automatically kind of know they're in something different, and it makes them ask questions. And then that leads me to teaching them, lead them to spaces, to the day classes, lead them to a space that they probably would never went to if they didn't walk through it, been coming in for the things they like hip hop, music, or wherever they came to, whatever event I have at night. It leads them to the day space, and to me, that's the most important.
And then talk to me a little bit about the feeling you get when you see somebody going through that financial class and you
Right.
see the light come on and you see that they're starting to finally get what you're throwing out there. Because
Yeah.
that, to me, because my day job is a trainer,
Right.
that's what I look for.
Right.
if I can get somebody to turn the light on and change their views about people in poverty,
Right.
my whole week is made.
Man, you feel like, man, it's something inside you, right?
Yeah.
That's fulfilled. I mean, because you had that passion, you have a real desire to help, and you see somebody get it and get that through. Man, it's a feeling you can't even explain, man. It what keeps me going, man. It just lets me know. I mean, like you say, it's not about the money, and that's what I learned about business. That's what got me here. I used to think back, man, years ago. I was thinking about the money, and so,
But that's a dangerous game.
man, it's a dangerous game.
Just to think about the money.
money.
You get caught in a trap.
Right. It's a rabbit hole you want to go down, and if you get a chance to get through that journey and get to a point to where you understand that, and get to a point of living in passion is you understand it, and you understand the difference, and you understand what real business is about and how business end up happening, why businesses succeed, and that's what I've learned, man. And so I don't focus on the money no more like that. I focus on my passion. That's why I designed this, because this is who I am. You know, I like to teach. The things I went through in my life, man, my journey to get me here, man, is I mean, that's a story, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like I say, for me, man, I was sixth grade education, and I turned around and re-educated myself at the age of 23, and I'm 48 years old now, man, and this is where I'm at, and without education, re-educating myself, but not the education that's usually given and taught through school. I got school education as well. I got my GED and I got college credits in business. I did that. I went through all those courses, but
It's not the same.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
So I had to re-educate myself in a different way and along with life experiences. So, and again, the journey, that's what's got me here. So that's why I created this, because I want to be able to shortcut that for people. I want you to be to learn, especially for the youth, the 18, the longer, the earlier you learn it, the better of a chance you have to be able to do things different in your life that if you don't. And the things that I feel that I'm able to teach, and the things I'm able to give from my experience and my knowledge, man, is 20 or 15 years, man, of saving off your life, of different experiences through it.
And one of the things that I appreciate about that is because, like, one bad financial decision could set you back for life.
100%.
For life.
But for life.
And more often than not, it's a huge financial decision that you're not prepared for. Nobody talks to you about. Nobody tells you about. And so you're sort of doing it blindly. And so giving an opportunity for people to hear and sort of learn, oof, that's powerful.
Man, because what I've learned, man, like I said, it's like gatekept.
Yeah.
The things that I've learned through the business and through the industry, man, it was secrets.
Yeah.
It's business secrets. I started my first company was LLC, was QA Entertainment. And that was my first experience of going through business and going through things. I did that through college teaching, right?
Yeah.
I went through the college teaching doing that business. And I learned as I was going through it, and people was talking to me, different things, business owners, real business owners that know business by living a life and having them and being successful, is telling me, why are you doing it this way? Why are you doing that? Why you need this? And I was like, hold on, this is what I was talking to school. I mean, what is it? But they're not just openly just going to tell you. And the bankers sitting across from you is not going to tell you why you're denied on this or why you do it. They're not going to sit there and explain that, because that's not their job. They're just listening to see whatever you're going to be able to tell them and talk to them, is it going to benefit them? And they feel if you don't have the knowledge or have your things set up for that, then they just kind of just tell you no, and that's it. And they wait for the person to come through that has them things that they want to be able to hear to be able to get them to push that loan through or be able to push that situation through that's going to benefit them. So you got to learn those things. You got to learn what that is. You got to learn that. And nobody is just like telling you that, because now that creates competition almost for them. No, in business, it's real competitive. So nobody really wants to just tell you on how things really work behind the scene, on how I got this or how I did that. And, they don't tell people that. It's almost like gatekept. And that's what I kind of learned through the industry and going through this process of dealing with business for real. And that's why I'm like, man, I want to be able to teach it and give it away, man, and teach people, man, and let people see it early. It's not gatekeep it from them. And hopefully, man, people will see that value and come through and learn it and be able to see what I'm talking about.
And I love that because, like, even through my experience in my podcast,
Right.
like, there's a lot of gatekeeping that I have to put up with.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people that tell me, like, my podcast isn't big enough to be a guest on your show.
Right.
And it's like, Okay, that's interesting.
Right.
But and so like one of the things that I'm curious about, as you've been sort of venturing on your own,
Right.
what was one of the biggest surprise gatekeeping kind of things that you ran across?
And what industry, as far as on the business side, or you talking about the music
business
industry?
side.
On the business side is what I'm telling you, man. The part of understanding, man, OPM, understanding how to leverage, understanding what leverage is, understanding, man, the understanding the language of money, understanding what cash flow is, understanding what liquidity is, understanding what assets and liabilities is, understanding economics, understanding percents, understanding how money works, understanding the percents of money, understanding what interest is, understanding rates, understanding the economy, understanding the leverage you got to use, understanding the algorithms, understanding the moves to make, understanding it's so much that right there. I mean, all of that is America, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all America. It's the things behind the things. I mean, that's behind the things. That's what people don't know and don't understand. They don't. That is a whole different world, a whole different talk, a whole that they don't understand because, like we was talking behind the scenes, in a sense, not education, nothing like that, but the system was really designed to really just create good workers. I just went right now, man, to go see my sister graduated at UNLV. She got a bachelor's degree. She just came from Vegas the other day, and I was listening to the give, the speeches and all that stuff and talk about, everybody, graduating and what people have accomplished. And what they were saying to me, what I'm looking at, they were saying, the people here, we got some of the best CEOs, we got some of the best workers, we got some of the best jobs, you guys get some of the best jobs, the best this. It was nothing, never once about ownership. It was never once about ownership. It was never, he mentioned jobs, even the highest he went was CEO. And CEO is just up under an umbrella of a parent corporation or under an entity that he's running. Like I said, I set my structure up, and even just business structure. Remember I showed you, I said I got an LLC?
Yeah.
I did that first because that's what I was taught, LLC, this is what it is. Nah, then I had to learn, man, think bigger. No, corporation.
Because like even as you were talking right there, I understood maybe half of what you were saying.
Okay, like what? In what part?
Like leveraging and
Oh,
liquidity.
okay.
Like I'm financially illiterate, if you will, right? Because I didn't learn any of that stuff from my father. And I never went through any sort of that stuff. And so like that kind of resonates with me because I don't know where else to get that information.
Right.
Because like the banks aren't going to tell you. They don't want you to negotiate better interest rates.
No.
Like nobody tells you that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And so,
So yeah, that's the biggest.
and like ownership, right?
Right.
There's this interesting situation that happens, right? Because the best way to be whole, I guess you could say, as an individual is to own something that you can leverage for other projects. Because,
Most definitely.
Home ownership is an example,
Yeah.
right? I owned a home for several years. For the last 2 years, I've been renting an apartment.
Okay.
The last 2 years have been exceptionally hard on me financially.
Okay.
Because the banks look at you as a failure
Right.
if you don't own a home.
Right.
At the same time, home ownership now is so unattainable for your ordinary citizen
Right.
because of house prices, the interest rates,
Right.
everything's so high
Right.
that a lot of people are missing out on stability financially
Right.
because they don't have access to ownership.
Right.
And just how much more credit that opens up for you, how many more like opportunities, just that little piece of paper, even though you don't own the property.
Right.
But that's like the hugest barrier to financial success
Right.
is owning something
Right.
that you can leverage.
Right. And pass on down.
Yeah.
And pass
Yeah.
on down. Create something bigger than you that you can pass on down. That creates, like you say, it creates and creates and creates. But it has to be taught to your kids.
Yeah.
It has to have the conversation because these conversations aren't given, like you said, it's not going. You're not going to go to school. You're not going to go to. Well, I was talking to a person that went to U of O the other day. It was a business, got a degree, and I was telling her the things where I was talking about business, and the things that I was talking about, telling her she don't know nothing about. It was just she just told me, she was telling me, she's like, man, what do she said? And the things that she said, I said she's got a food truck, and she was telling me she done learned a lot. Some of what I'm talking about. And understand completely, man, that not to say not getting a college degree is not important, but in business, it's one of those things. Now, when you're going to get a college degree, like being a lawyer, a doctor, and all this stuff, that's relevant for sure. But one thing in business, it's one of those things you're not guaranteed, because just because you got a business degree don't mean you're going to be successful in business, right? Because business is a different thing. It's more dealing with people. It's a different experience. You can't teach that through a class in the sense of that, right? You can only give certain things and techniques and meanings of words and stuff like that. Okay, and in college they don't teach you the leverage part, the part that I'll tell you that's gate kept, the part that I'm telling you that's real, the part that matter, the understanding of the system, understanding what Dun and Bradstreet, understanding what business credit is. Like Dun and Bradstreet is the international biggest business credit bureau, you know what I mean, in the world. But some people don't understand it and don't even understand what a paydex score is.
A lot of people don't even know that exists.
No. That's why I was telling you, I was talking to an individual. We was talking about this, and she didn't know about none of this. So I'm like, it's like she said, she was like, man, I went to 4 years of college, you were in business, and not to knock that. And she was like, but I didn't know, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. And she said a lot of things you're talking about, I did have to learn on my own through business, and I'm still learning. And she felt, in her sense, in the sense of the business part, that was her biggest debt. And she was like, man, I didn't get nothing out of it, because you think you're going, because I went. And business is not like that. So that right there is the biggest kept secret. When you say that right there, man, to me is the biggest kept secret, man. Is that.
And just how much would knowing that kind of information benefit people?
What?
Yeah.
Man, are you serious?
Well,
okay,
look.
Right. No, man, it's life changing to understand what Dun and Bradstreet is, as far what a business credit bureau is, the difference between between Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Like, some people don't even know the 3 credit bureaus on the personal side, let alone on the business side, like Dun and Bradstreet, et cetera. Because now Experian got Experian business. Now they're tapped into the business industry now, business credit. And so just understanding that, man, it's life changing, because you know how to leverage it, because everything is about leverage. You know, those things are the things that stop you from getting your money. Those are the things that when you walk into banks, when you go into institution, or you go try to get your house, those are the things that's stopping you. By not understanding that, you don't know how to do that to be able to get what you're trying to get. And the person who does gets it, and they might not have more than you.
Yeah.
As far as money.
Yeah.
Because I learned years ago, when I was, like I say, through my journey, an individual told me, he said, man, I came to this country and this is what I experienced, what you're going through right now. Years ago, when I had to re-educate myself to know, he said, man, it's like you got under the bed money to them. So in America, you got to show things on paper. You got to show things. You got to show. Doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, I see the cat, I see this, but it's nothing. So the education to understand this is tremendous, man. And it's life-changing.
I really appreciate that you're doing that, because like so many people just sort of know this information and they don't pass it on.
No. No.
And it's just like it seems so short-sighted for people not to pass knowledge on.
I asked an individual, I said, where would you go to get that type of knowledge? Who you think you can go? Do you think you can walk into one of these? And it's very rare you might even get a chance to speak to a business owner in any business you walk through right now.
Very rare.
Right?
Yeah, very
so,
rare.
and if you do get a chance to speak to him, do you think he's going to share this knowledge with you? Do you think he's going to tell you that?
Most business owners have this competitive mindset based on the capitalist views that we have.
Right.
That they have to protect that information at all costs.
Right.
Because that's their competitive advantage. But I come from a different sort of worldview where I think the more we can lift up everybody,
right,
the more there is for everybody.
Right. 100%. I mean, that's why I said that's why I said when you living within your passion, you passion driven, can't nothing stop you. So I'm not worried about none of that. If I look at what I see, what's inside of me, it's passion driven. So I don't think of that. I'm not thinking about who can stop, who can do this. I just look at what I believe inside and what I want to deliver and get that value. And I just let that take its course.
And so, like, coming back to this place, though.
Right.
Because, like, I just am geeking out over this place.
Right.
Was there an intentionality about, like, the TVs and
yes.
the location? And
100%. Okay, yeah. Everything here, it turns, right? So every piece and everything. So if I do, like, an 18-plus event, all this furniture disappears. So
Okay.
so each piece had to be picked out and got to be easily moved out and easily put in, but still have the same lounge feel, the elegance of what I want to have here, the comfortability. So when people come and experience, so that's why the pieces are picked out in that sense. So everything is here, and so the TVs, the TVs is there. So right, the TVs is a creation of, because it's a PlayStation I have back there for the kids and for an Xbox, so they be able to play each other on the PlayStation here and there, or they can have that one TV right there.
Without having to do split screen.
Right. So yeah. So I can do a no split screen. So I got options to show, one screen all the way across to get that kid experience to play something like that. So that's why that's there like that. And let me see what else. So everything moves out. So yeah, everything that I have is it's games. So everything is strategically placed for shifts of different things, for class, for things that I do. Because remember, the business is so many. It's like I got day classes, and then I got to turn this into a night lounge. I got to see how everything shifts and turns. So and also I bring professional artists. I got a professional artist coming October 31st for Halloween. So I bring professional artists, and I got another professional artist coming in November. So this space is so much. So I do local talent. I create things for people that never had. I just did a show called Voices of Soul. They never did a show before in their life. They came here, I let them practice and show them things that they can do, show them how the music work, show them how to build a set, show them how to do these things, practice. And we called it, man, Voices of Soul, man, with a touch. It was all black with a touch of gold. And they got to invite their families, man, and have a good time. And their families got a chance, man, to hear them sing. And, man, that right there was some of the most beautiful things for me, because after the next day, man, one of the individuals that sung, that I had the opportunity to sing, and she said, man, I got a chance to live out a dream that I never thought could come true, And you was able to create that for me. That's what I'm talking about, why I created that space, because she was able to come here, and I work with them, able to chill, relax. That right there, man, is like what you're talking about, man. That right there, then it brought tears to my ears, to my eyes. Man, that was amazing, man.
That's beautiful. Because it's like one of those, that first opportunity to get on stage for a band is huge. And
the littlest thing that somebody thinks, man, that's huge.
Yeah. It's something insignificant for a lot of people, but to the band, it's a change of life.
And it's so far away.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are things some of these kids and individuals that have these talents have been picturing themselves for years as a kid.
Yeah.
To be on a stage and be in front of an audience, to be in front of it, and man, it's.
They've
but
been
when you
playing
step out
in front of a mirror for
man,
years,
for
years,
years,
and
and it's picturing that, right?
Yeah.
And when you step outside these doors, man, it seems so far away. It seems so far away now. Once you step outside here, now you go look and see that, and now it becomes far away again. But when you turn and look this way, now it becomes reality. It comes right there. It changes. Like, whoa, this is here. When I step out and go look that way, it's like, man, where I go.
But I love also the opportunity, because if you think about it from the other end too, to have a space that's non-judgmental for your first time, where you can get on stage and go through your thing, and then the venue is not going to sit there the next day, regardless of what happens, and say, well, no, you're not welcome back anymore. I didn't like your performance.
Right, exactly. And I know that, because I've just seen that go through. So that's why, and like I say, from my experience, that's why I'm not like that. That's why I created it. And like you said, it's just very rare probably that a person opens up a space that has that type of passion. And that's really what that space is opened up when it comes, especially with a venue, right? If it is probably like a little mom's pop spot that understands, a blues spot, or somebody knows and really appreciate the music, want to create that space for them. And that's why I do poetry. I got, like spoken word poetry. Like I say, comedy, live band, live music, and then live soulful music. Then you got the hip hop. I just think, man, I think it's a lot of the elements, man, that's right there, man, that you can come in here and experience. It's really hard to be missed here. It's something the space is almost created for anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Depending what part you want.
Yeah.
Like book club, you want to read? Are you having problems reading? Have you ever finished a book? Or you want to be around? Do you want to learn from a book? Okay, let me go. It's a book club here. You can come sit down and chill and get a chance to have a community around you and hold you accountable to finish a book for the first time in your life. and learn from it. And maybe you might have a problem with maybe comprehending. Now you got somebody to help you learn how you comprehend, and then also share their help you learn. And now you're getting out of the book that you never thought. So, or you want to come here, maybe you don't have the education, maybe you don't feel comfortable walking into a college course or going into a corporate building to learn business credit or credit, because you might not want to do that type of system. You want to come around something more comfortable for you. That's here. If you if you want to do, you want to be able to get your music out, that you probably can't go to another venue and they let you do it. Come on, it's here. If you want to learn, I got an individual right now teach them how to DJ. So I have a person come in and teach DJ. You want to learn how to DJ? It's right here. You learn how to DJ. Man, the DJ stuff is almost gay kept. You see what I'm saying? It's so much stuff that's almost so by me experiencing all these gatekeeping, I try to ungatekeep these things and allow people to come experience things and get things, man, and be able to create things that they can take from here, man, for the rest of their life and probably be able to feed themselves from it.
So we've been at this for almost an hour.
Yeah.
What is the best way for people to get in contact with you, to learn more about the venue, to see what you got going on? Because you have a lot.
Yeah, so much, man. So much.
I love it.
Yeah, man, you can get a hold to me. You just go to Instagram. I have it's QMG Promotions. Or you can go DM me through the Last Light Lounge. We also have an application you can go to. It's called the lastlight.club. That will lead you to our app. That right there shows you things we have coming up. You can buy the concert tickets that I have coming up on there as well. And you can see the classes and things that's coming up on there. So I advise you to get that app if you guys got it, if you go there. But yeah, other than that, if you're not really tech savvy like that, just go to Instagram and just DM me through QMG Promotions, or which the venue is called right here, called the Last Light Build a Vibe Lounge. So just go to Instagram and just go to the Last Light Lounge and it'll pop up and DM me there.
And what would you
or stop by.
And what would you what advice would you give people who are thinking about getting into a business role or sort of venturing out into their own business realm?
I would say, man, that's the start. I mean, man, that advice I'm gonna give, I would say, is tap into that. What's encourage you to even think of that, for one, because a lot of people don't even think that. They think about going to get a job. So appreciate your mind with that thought. Think about a passion that you have and go into it from there. Or if you don't have a passion for nothing, but you're just thinking that someone's telling you that you don't want to be working for someone and you want to go into business, then just think about solving a problem. Think about problems that you have in your life that's happening. It could be something simple with you maybe not putting a shoe on or don't know how to do something. You come up with a device or something to solve that problem. That's your business.
I really appreciate it. Quincy, thank you. I'll end the podcast the way I always end the podcast, y'all. Be kind. We are in this planet together, and we rely on each other so much. And we would just be better off if we treated everybody with kindness and respect.
Thanks
Quincy,
for that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.